All right, all right, all right. I am live. The machine is telling me that Gwendolyn is live. And you know what? You can't even see it. This sucks. But I went and voted today. Okay? Gwendolyn went and voted because, look, we have a voice. And if you don't use that voice, you lose that voice. Okay? So I don't care where you are. I don't care what state you're in. I'm not even asking about your politics. What I am asking for is for doing your civic duty, right? Like just do what needs to be done. But guess what? I am prepared for a stellar conversation. Golly, you know what? Sometimes, no, all the times, when I sit down and I think about putting together particular shows, and when people say yes, I'm like, golly, that's a blessing, right? It really is. I don't think people understand how people who interview are really blessed that people are giving them their time. So we're not going to waste any more of it because I want to get into the conversation. I'm going to play this intro and then we are going to get into it. Good afternoon. It's Gwendolyn. It's Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. I actually signed all of that too on my little deal, on the little roll. I was like, nope. I put all my letters, put all of them. Welcome. Welcome to Small Biz Bites. We are streaming live to LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, hello, chime in. We're also streaming live to YouTube. So there is that. We got YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you have not already, be sure to like the video. You could share it. And if you want, you can subscribe. I'm actually pretty good for you. Like, believe it or not, I'm good for you. Just saying. But, because I really, I hate to use the word really a lot. But you know, sometimes when you're really, really excited, you're extra excited. You kind of like getting all the things. But we have a great guest today. We have coming to the stage, Victoria Carrington Chávez. She is from the Story Saloon. And Victoria is going to talk to us about showing up as the main character in your business. So let's welcome Victoria. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello, Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jackson.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a miss in there. I know you're Mrs., but like culturally Ms., you know.
Right? Yeah. It's a lot of letters. There's a lot, but you know what? I don't mind all the letters. I say add all the letters. Now, if we could get people in the tech world to catch up and stop limiting characters, we could probably be someplace. But
listen, I feel that too. I mean, Carrington Chávez is like a long name. And so, yeah, like I get you. So I'm so glad to be here.
Before we get started, we have a couple of things going. I do want to do some hellos first, and we're going to get into what's called the Fast Five.
Okay.
She's like, what? Okay. That wasn't on the menu. It wasn't, and it wasn't. But I know we have our friend Ali. He's on the other side of the pond. He's going to be part of the replay. I understand that. My mother is here. Shout out to my mama who shows up. We have Carol. Hello, Carol. Says, my body is ready for this. Let's go. Woo-hoo. I got that. Letta is here. She says, hi, G. Good for you. She's voting. People, use your voice, okay?
Vote.
Use your voice. Vote. This is not the time to stay on the sidelines. This is not it. Ron is here. Ron Foster is here. Hello, family. Everybody's giving their hellos, which we love. And we want to get into what's called the Fast Five.
Okay.
Now, Victoria, we are going to ask you 5 questions because we want the audience to get to know you just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm trying not to get into my songs, but help me out. Okay. Are
I
you
don't know if
ready?
I'm the person to help you, but we will do our best.
Are you a singing person too?
I am, well, okay, I'm not allowed to say I don't sing since I just recently crushed karaoke, but I am a dancer. Like, you put a good song and a beat, something MJ vibe, some like Whitney, like, yeah,
We're
we
gonna
can dance.
take this show on the road, sis.
Yes.
We're gonna take this show on the road. All right, here's your first one. Are you for, and you can say neither if you want to, right? Barbecue pizza or Hawaiian pizza?
Ooh, barbecue pizza, especially if it's the pulled pork. The pulled pork barbecue pizza with like the caramelized red onion.
Yes, yeah, all up in there. Okay, all right. You're off to a great start. I'm loving this already. I'm loving it. Fall or winter?
Oh, fall, like hands down.
You don't like the cold?
No, I've been living in New England for the last 5 years. Have
Okay.
you been to New England in the winter?
Yeah, I avoid such places at times. Although I like a good winter fashion.
Yes, the winter
But
fashion. But at the same time, New England fall, some of the best in the world. So
yeah. I mean, something about fall is like right in between where you could do those really autumnal colors, a little bit of breeze and a little bit of change of life, and you get some
yeah.
really good fashion. The only time winter becomes a tad bit too much, and this is, I'm honorary New Yorker, is when it just drags on. Like snow is great when it's fresh, it's
Mhm.
cute, and it's pretty, and it's white, and just and then it gets nasty and dirty and gray and just.
Yeah, no, I don't love the gray. So that's, yeah, but the autumn, you get all these colors, and I love a crisp morning, not a cold morning, a crisp morning. So fall.
Well, we are having fall today. It is crisping out here. All right, glass of wine or a creative cocktail?
I would go with a creative cocktail. I have a friend who's a mixologist who makes some fun story saloon themed cocktails. And so something creative and fun and crafty that goes along with your vibe of the day, 100%.
All right. I see where you're going. Do we prefer, okay, we're just gonna say prefer, but alike. Do you like checks or a debit card?
I am an elder millennial, so I know what checks are, but I don't know the last time I actually wrote one.
Right.
So we're gonna go with debit.
Do you have any checks in your house?
I mean, I do. I have a business, so I have to
Yeah.
have checks, but
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure the starter kit that they give you of the 12 when
Yeah.
you open, like
Yeah.
you still got those. So
we
occasionally.
we had a chat on my friend Ron's show not too long ago about checks. And I remember Sunday paper was current in the company. And you could get like monogram checks,
Mhm.
checks, all kinds of like fun designs. I had checks that had my money around it. And
Yeah.
right, and they were pink. And I thought I was confident, Oh, at least you know. So I'll give you credit for that. Okay, here's our here's the question. Would you be you or would you want to be someone else?
Me. I mean, I have worked too damn hard to love me, so we ain't going back. We love me and we gonna be me.
Which is a great segue into who are you and what is your superpower?
Oh, so I'm Victoria Carrington Chavez, and I am a storyteller, creative narrative strategist, speaker. And my superpower, I get told a lot of different superpowers, but I really can see how brilliant people are in their story. And so a lot of times there are parts of our stories that we want to hide or that we don't think make us good enough. And I just see people as being enough. And I feel like that's a superpower, and kindness. I think that those two things are more needed in this world. So yeah, it's a bit about me.
Right. I would have never thought years ago that having to state that I am kind is a superpower. But it lands differently in the moment that we're living in, just like across the board. you know?
Honestly, it really does. I do. I remember, so what some people might not know about me is I was a K-8 Spanish teacher a number of years ago before my full career back in marketing. And one of the things that I asked the students once, I said, "What do you love about Senorita Carrington?" And one of the students said, "You're so kind." And it really hit me. I was like,
Hmm.
that shouldn't be a standout quality in a teacher.
Right.
Like, I appreciate it, and I appreciate that you see that, but like that just feels like the base.
Right? Like, I
And
remember, I mean, now I know we didn't come here for this conversation. No, we didn't. I know we didn't. But I do know that, yeah, at this point, it's just, can we just be kind? Can we
Mhm.
just be respectful, kind, be decent? Can we get some decency? Can we just, not asking for too much, not asking for, just some basics, some basics of being human. Just, just a couple, just a couple there. Let me do this before I go into these other questions. And obviously, audience, you are free to share and put your questions in there too. I do want to say this. This is not part of this story, but it also is part of this story. So obviously, when I invite people, I've already checked them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bringing this anybody into my house, even my digital house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you
So
guys know.
I interacted with Victoria some time ago, and then I know we had the World's Expo earlier this year. Was it? No, it was like, but June. Yes,
Oh,
God,
yes, in June.
forever. June. So I was like, if Victoria's kind of cool. Now, I'd peeped you in the LinkedIn streets. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
And I was
out
like,
there in those streets.
I was like, something about her is just, you can feel people's energy without having to like be in their presence, right? And so I do want to share this QR code before we go too far. We're going to share it again at the end, everybody. So I do want to make sure that's clear. But this QR code is to watch Victoria's TEDx talk. Man, I just want to put it out there for you because, there, depending on the life you have lived, your lived experiences, some of us understand the idea of having to check a box. I'm not talking to you, machine. The machine's always listening. Some of us understand the life of being put into a box.
Mhm.
And I remember talking to Ron. I also put in one of my posts. This cannot be boxed, right? Like we are not doing boxes. We're not doing that. So I highly suggest, as again, we'll share this later in our conversation, but scan that QR code, check out Victoria's TEDx talk. It's, man, it touched me then, it touched me now. So I do want to say kudos to you. And I love how quick backstory, how many times did you have to apply to even give the talk?
So that was my fourth application, was my fourth talk. And so those of you out there, I hear a lot, I want to give a TED talk. And I applied and I didn't get it. I didn't get it the first try either, but I kept trying and the goal was reached. And I feel like that is so common in life, in business, in really achieving something big. And it was worth every failure because it took me a while to find the story that only I could tell. And that's what is on the stage.
And a lot of times it's not no, it's just a not yet.
Yeah.
Like it's just not yet. So before I get into the story Saloon, I do want you guys to connect with Victoria. She is on Instagram, she is on TikTok, and she is on LinkedIn. And I would tell you, I believe, because I'm not on TikTok and although I'm there, I'm not really on Instagram. I believe you get the most of Victoria on LinkedIn. So you should run over there and check that out. You know what I'm saying? Now, with all that said, because we're talking about stories, tell us about the Story Saloon.
Yeah, so the Story Saloon is where people can come to either hear a damn good story or tell a damn good story. Because who doesn't love a good story? I mean, movies, we will watch 3+ hours of movies. I mean, how many Harry Potter movies, Lord of the Rings Extended Edition? Yes, I did go see those and have sat. I don't recommend that. That was like 15+ hours, but we love stories. But sometimes when we're trying to tell our story, we're too close to it. So we need somebody outside of us to remind us of the things and help us kind of piece it together so it can be a damn good story.
Let me slide into that really quick, because I do understand the idea of being too close to something. Myself and a fellow colleague in the crowd, we used to help people get organized, and it's easier for us to just throw away something because there's no attachment, right? Like there's nothing there. What do you find are some of the barriers that stop us from telling our story beyond, how do I want to say this, beyond trying to fit into the box that someone has given us?
I mean, that's a big piece of it. We're trying to fit into the box, or we're trying to tell somebody else's story. Or one I really common see is one, I don't want to be cringe, which translates to what if people don't like me? And two is I can't say that, like, or that's not professional. And it's this idea of someone else's definition that we're still living by. And we kind of got to sift through that. That's why it feels like a saloon, where I feel like a bartender, where I'm listening, I'm kind of like finding because there is a process. It's not just, I'm going to show up online and tell my deepest, darkest secrets. No, but I'm also going to show up and be real and be vulnerable. And that TEDx, like my first application, I didn't even think about talking about my identity. And so the TEDx that you see on stage, it took my own process of really breaking some of those barriers I had within myself to be more open and genuine to a part of my story that I felt ashamed about because of society, not me. And if you watch it, you'll hear my mom, who really laid the groundwork of I didn't have to ever be ashamed of who I am.
When you talked about your mother, and I don't want to give away the TED Talk, okay? So I'm not gonna go into all the details, but your mother reminded me of my mother when she would tell us that the good Lord didn't make any mistakes. There's nothing wrong with you.
No.
And we heard it so often, like any other message. If you hear a certain message enough, you actually, you're like, you're right. So as I got older, and I'm not saying that I have never had a moment of, oh my God, there's no hips here, right? Because I was the black chick who inherited her father's body. It was not good in high school. It was not good,
I mean, who is having a good time in high school? And honestly, if you're having a good time in high school, I don't know what your life is like now, but most of my friends didn't have a good time in high school, myself included, and we're doing awesome now.
Right. We have grown into,
yes.
but so having that in the back of my head, having that reminder that the good Lord didn't make any mistakes when people would try to say something, and the key word is try. It's like, you picked the wrong one, partner. Not today. Not here. Now, that isn't saying that this happened overnight, because these kinds of transformations, they take time. It's not let me just turn on the switch kind of thing. And let me just say this, since Cass is here, afternoon Cass is also agreeing with you that yes, this is definitely a process. And Gloria, like the song, is giving you hearts. Dude, trust. I completely get that. Our story, and I don't, here's what I don't want to say. I'm not saying I'm struggling, because I have a lot of what people deem as difficult conversations. I just figure at some point, if you're going to make a move, we got to talk about something. We have to have a conversation. Like, that has to be done. And so when people are coming to you, at what stage are they? And I know I have questions here, but I also listen, and we're just having a conversation, just two girlies doing what they do. But at what point are people coming to you when they're like, I need a stiff drink and I need to get some clarity? Like, where are they on their journey typically?
Typically, they're wanting to be more seen, and what it usually comes out is I might hear, I want to go viral, or I want more engagement. And what I found that really translates to is I want to be seen for being me. So usually they're in a space of they want more, they want to be seen more, and they want kind of more clarity in who they are, what they do, and what they can offer the world beyond their job titles. I mean, I work with a lot of businesses, so business is a part of it, but really I think that founder, entrepreneur, it's not just like you tip of the hat and you're done. Like it is ingrained in who you are. So usually they're in that journey of realizing they want to expand.
Yeah, we are not our jobs. Because your jobs are good. Your jobs, your careers, they're going to change. And we are not our jobs. We are so much more than. It's like, is that all you are?
No.
It's like,
No. Well, and like, no, it's not all you are. And like,
not.
the thing is like a lot of times we get, especially as entrepreneurs, founders, we get kind of put in a box as in our previous roles. And just because you can do something, is that what you want to do in your business? And two, does that really define you? And so I think a lot of times people in their journey are coming to me to like find some definition. And that's why clarity is generally our first step, is let's figure out where you're at and where you want to go and what you want to do with this story.
Well, that leads me to my next question, because I wrote down all these really thoughtful questions. I love how I say thoughtful. I mean, I thought it, so I mean, yay. But okay, so you call yourself a marketing bandita. What does that title mean to you? And how does it shape the energy of the story Saloon?
Yeah, so years ago, I was doing social media and I felt like working in social media is like working in the Wild West. It changes every day. And somebody was like, you're like an outlaw. So I started calling myself a marketing bandita because I work in marketing. I know the rules of marketing, but I sometimes quite often break them because a lot of people that I work with don't love marketing. And it's not that they don't love marketing, they don't love manipulation. There's a lot of manipulative tactics in marketing. There's a lot of bro-y folks out there doing some things that make you go, And so I feel like I'm like this outlaw who's like, no, you don't have to do it that way. And marketing is such an integral part of a lot of businesses. Marketing is talking about who you are. So I feel like kind of a trailblazer that says, you don't have to do it like everybody else. Let's be a wild card and do it in the way that is best for you. It's messaging so people can find you, so they can celebrate you.
Oh, Victoria, you have my heart. Okay, so real talk. As a person who has been in business, right? Owning my own, working with someone else. The other day, was it last night? What is time? Okay, I'm sorry. I know I just go off on these little riffs. They're like, who is this chick? Trust me, people, I got it. But real talk.
You're a Virgo. I know you got this.
Yeah. No, this is typical, right? Like this is typical conversation with Gwendolyn. They're like, is she focused? This is focused. But honestly, I watched a video about retail stores that are no longer here. And I'm watching all these retail stores, a Woolworth, a TG&Y, a Safeway, Food Lion, they got a couple here and there, but there were so many. Sears, Kmart, and I'm listening to how they started. And then I'm thinking about the transition and when they eventually either were bought out or went the way of the dodo bird. And as a person who I love retail, hands down, I enjoy selling to people. I enjoy serving people. But then I started thinking, what happened to us that we went away from why we got into business, right? And then we went away from focusing on the customer's experience. We went away from employer and employee having a solid, trustworthy relationship, something that was genuine. And now we're at a place of where we are today, which everybody just feels like there's nothing different. Yeah. Do you believe, being in the spot that you're in, because I know how I feel about it, but do you believe that we have gone so far to this other side that we're on the cusp of some sort of breakthrough that says what's happening right now isn't sustainable? Like, people don't want to be manipulated. People want to be respected, be treated well, get great service, pay a fair price. Do you believe that we are on that cusp of what you guys are doing is about to crumble? I
do. I feel like we're in a space of we want relationships. We want genuine human connection. The pandemic statistically has left people feeling lonelier than ever, which is wild. We had this moment of, we all kind of collectively went through this global event, and then it felt lonelier. And then with the rise of AI, people are feeling even more disconnected. And this is one of the reasons why I started the Story Saloon. Stories have been that tie, that sign, that place that bridges the gap. Stories are a way to convey emotion, because that's why in marketing, when you want to be ethical and non-manipulative, we're working in emotions. Stories connect us to emotions, and they can connect us to each other and shortcut that. And I think that it helps us be genuine in a way that people are craving. We want connection. We were designed, as humans, we're designed for connection.
Right? We're designed. People don't buy from companies or businesses. They buy from people that they trust. Is that's what I learned in business school.
That is 100%. People buy not what you can do for them, but in how you make them feel.
Right.
And
so,
yeah.
It can be so simple. Cass says gifts, skills, talents can be purpose. Heard this today. I'm telling you. Yes. She's been, hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. Cass also gives you 100. She says people have to reinvent and evolve positively with the times and the era. What works for them? No cookie cutter, more unique to self and others. I thought I was talking to, well, I talk a lot, so forget who I was talking to, but I was just commenting that when a particular business was different, it was the heyday, right? There was training of people, the product was great. There was a reason to travel to because it was different. The moment you become like every other, and I'm sorry, basic vanilla cookie, there goes that. It's not. Now, we're not for everybody. Trust. Gwendolyn is a special cup. Well, sometimes I do put champagne in a cup, but that is the truth. I am definitely a special cup of something. And telling your story and what lives there, it resonates. It makes I believe the biggest difference in who you work with and who you choose to be, who you choose to get your services from. If the story makes sense, the story makes sense. I mean, it's just how I see it.
It's the differentiator. It's the great thing that makes you stand out. And, because I'm not the only marketer out there. Heck, I might not be the only marketer saying I'm an outlaw of marketing, but the story, the feeling, like I went with a saloon because people know what it's like to sit down with friends and have a good drink. People know what it's like to say, I'm going to trustfully confide in my bartender about whatever is going on. I'm going to have this space. And so it was a way to convey a feeling. And sometimes people will throw in like, oh yeah, like a space where everybody knows your name. The thing is you say that line and people, even if they've never seen the show, because like I've maybe seen some episodes when I was younger, but like I don't recall it the same way, but people know that feeling. And that's what stories do. Television, media, TV, social media does this all the time. And the thing is we're in such an age where there's so much noise and there is so much going on. And like people are trying to get attention. It's like not trying to get everybody's attention, because also like that sounds really overwhelming, but trying to get the attention and the alignment of the people that are your people, the people that are going to be like, yes, I like champagne in my cup as well, with a little bit of like leopard print sparkles. Like, I don't know if you noticed, like we coordinated a bit today, but
I know. Okay, so I was thinking, look at this. Okay, somebody got the memo.
Yes, your special. Somebody is looking for your special cup of gin, and stories are just a way to say I'm the special cup of gin, and other people can kind of find you, and the people that know your name, they celebrate you.
That's a perfect segue. I mean, that's great, because here's my next question. As I was sitting here thinking, because I know we're moving in virtual spaces, but there's also an emotional something going on there. So when someone walks into the Story Saloon for the very first time, virtually or emotionally, what do you hope they feel?
I hope they feel seen. So often my clients will respond and saying, "Thank you for seeing me." And because, when we hide parts of ourselves, we feel like we can't be accepted or loved. And so I want people to be seen, seen for not parts of themselves, but, all of who they are. And that's kind of been really important to me, to just let people be seen and to be heard. Sometimes I'm just listening and hearing them.
That hearing part, before I go there, because I'm going to go on a quick tangent. Yes, I am a special cup of gin. That is true. I got a little gin. I got a little moonshine too. So, depending on how you're feeling.
That's
Kara says, you may not be the only marketing bandita, but you're living up to the title. You're definitely my kind of drink. Oh, look at that. I love that love. Can we talk about that really quick? That the being seen and being heard. So 2020 for some of us was a wake-up call, sort of fake punch in the throat. Yep. Like, okay, let me figure life out real quick. And I don't know. I didn't recognize how important it was for myself to be seen and heard until then. Sometimes we allow things to just go because is what we've always known. Like you can have the voice, hear me clearly, people. You can have the voice, using that voice, acting on is a whole nother set of behaviors, mindset, and what have you. But being seen and heard, didn't recognize how important that was until I felt as if, oh no, let's not say felt. I clocked how I was not seen and heard. Yeah, it wasn't a feeling. It's like, no, this is happening, Gwendolyn, this is happening. Yes. And as you mentioned, people are wanting that now more than ever.
People are wanting that more than ever. And to add layers to that, femme-bodied, people who look like us, Black and brown women, we have been conditioned to not be seen and or heard. And so that was one of the reasons where I kind of connected the dots with like main character in business is like, because if you are running a business, you got to be seen, you got to be heard. That is part of the key. And not for everybody. You are not everybody's cup of tea, but just enough so that the people who are like, I want that, you are my kind of drink, can find you. And so much, like I said, we have been conditioned. And so that starting space to hold space, to see and hear each other and say your voice matters is so, now I'm getting saucy because this stuff, like, and it's like, it's like, I mean, we're taught that, like, like there's a Latina saying, "Caritas son más bonitas." Like the quiet ones are the most beautiful. So,
before I go to this next question, I'm gonna put, I know, right? I know. I'm like, oh, Victoria. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but was it last year? I forget because I go back to what is time. Here's the deal. It was last year because it feels like forever. But I remember in 2023, implemented in 2024, doing just a lot of writing about unlearning what we've learned. Because it was someone else's idea of someone else's program. And I know I always felt funny. Like I was never that kid. I was a little saucy. I was smart, Alec. It is my show, so I could say smart ass, but still. My mother's here, so I try to keep it together, but mother's kind of used to this now. She's kind of like, look, but it didn't feel right. It's like something doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. I cannot get with this program. I have a problem with authority. And I'm like, I don't know, G, maybe we should start kicking down some other doors, build your own table, because it's not working. You know what I mean?
I do. I do. Yeah.
Before I let you get into there, Coletta shares that this is very true. She says, Victoria is dropping the facts. And yes, I know. I am working on a guest filter that's good for most guests, which is why before I go into the allow you to share on this, Victoria, I was talking to my friend Ron. I was like, Ron, I can no longer filter my posts. Gwendolyn cusses a lot. I find that spicy language is how I serve all of my dishes. Okay.
Same.
So we are just like, look, if you don't want to read it, you can go read somebody else's post on LinkedIn. Don't come over here because I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, why am I filtering myself for LinkedIn? Because even though I believed I was showing up as full G, I was like, but you're putting an asterisk where you really want to say what you really want to say. I'm thinking, no, Gwendolyn, stop, full stop. Cut that out. Cut it out. You know? Because it's not professional. Let me not do it. Let me let you go into two things. One, you can respond with your thoughts. And two, again, tell us why we should be the main character of our business.
Yeah. So before I jump into this question, I do want to, and I hear you. The first time I swore on a podcast, like I was like, I can't believe like that was so unprofessional. And now like there's podcasts out there where I've sworn, you know, I've been real. And like, so what I tell people, cause like being strategic though, and knowing your audience and like being who you are, like, yeah, like I'm spicy. I swear, but like asterisks only because my goal is growth and I'm trying to be a little outsmart the algorithm. But I let people know that it's there. And like, I think that at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, especially when it comes to social media, like be intentional and like recognize, but like, if you're feeling like I have to filter and you just want to be like, nope, I'm not putting an asterisk, like, do it, stand on it. Like, I think that's kind of tapping into why you should be the main character. It is about being so clear in who you are, what you stand for, what your values are, what you're about, that you stand on it when like life ebbs and flows, and especially in a digital age, in a digital world. And like nobody has it all figured out. And we are all evolving, we're all trying to, and like perfection doesn't exist. And for me, like this main character is like, this is who I am. This is like what I'm good at. This is what I feel born to do, or how I choose to show up in this time. Because we evolve, we change. Like we are not, you know, set in one box. And I feel like the more that we do that, we're clear on who we are, we can confidently and authentically share that with others. And then what it does is it gives other people permission to do that too. And that is beautiful. You have more people standing up and saying, this is who I am. I'm weird. I'm wild. I'm wacky. I'm in the woo. And like, listen, you get to be you, because nobody does being you better than you.
Yes. Yes. This is, I mean, this is why no matter where I am now, I like you. I am aware at times, like if I am a guest on someone's show, I'm kind of like, what's your crowd like? Because I know what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to say. But I just want to know what your people are like, because your folks may not be my people. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It also explains, well, I can come here and do and sing and go into what is time in the middle of a you know, entire thought. They're like, is she no, this is Gwendolyn. This is it. If you can't take all of this, you don't want to be in my physical space, because it gets worse. It gets even more awesome.
You said worse, and I was like laughing because I was like, no, how do we hang out? Like, you know, this is a vibe.
Yeah. This is a bit much. Ron and I, who is my work husband, what are we on? Like 20-some years now? Yeah, like 20-some years. Work husband, we will break out into song and dance, do all the things. This is just what we do, right? And people sometimes feel like you should hide that. My husband is fully aware of who he married. So the same way that we will break out in song and dance on a live stream, I will be in this house and break out in song and dance. And he's looking at me like, oh my goodness. But yet he is now breaking out in song and dance. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, Lord, he is. It can happen. It can happen. Cass says, I feel that sometimes you're truthful, so truthful, some do not want me to shed that light on their darkness. You know, it's energy. I believe energy definitely attracts. Yes, Dr. Tachi, I am changing my husband. He's changing me just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Yes, truthful, Cass. Yes. Energy does feel energy, and it attracts. So when you don't have the right vibe, it's a very good chance you're going to pick up your toys and go about your business, because you're like, these folks are entirely too joyful and too happy, and then almost too authentic that I don't know if I can stand it.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why, like, being the main character, or really just being clear on who you are, like attracts like. So you can, like, one of the best parts of having clients that are aligned and like will sing and be weird and wacky and woo and wild with me is because I get to have fun. Like, I get to have fun doing what I'm doing. Sometimes I know we have a common friend, Elisa of Bike Business is Unusual podcast. And sometimes I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Like, I'm having fun in what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing. And like, that's a gift, right? And so, but if I hide those parts of myself, like I'm getting better at kind of showing the world how dorky I am and kind of how funny I am. Like, and I mean, if people, like, when I show that side, people are like, oh my gosh. But I hid it for a long time because, like, you know, I have mean girls laugh at me, and now I'm like, cool. Like, that's how people want to hang out with me, because I'm dorky and fun. Like, I really am nerdy, y'all, though. Like, you can be both.
I really am nerdy. We are, I believe, a number of adults and maybe even some young kids who hopefully those who are a little bit younger don't get this message. That's my deal. Like, speaking to my grandson, I am telling him, it's like, don't get into what they're saying. Like, don't go down that pathway. But, you know, sometimes you gotta live and learn. But I am praying that he stays in this pathway of, let me just be who I am, love who I am, and show up as my full self at all times. Like, that's because once you're here, you have to unlearn a lot of stuff. But these old bunnies, and I'm an old rabbit, we can learn new tricks. It can happen. So let's talk about Story Saloon. Because I want to know, right? This is a space for identity-centered storytelling. So what kinds of transformations have you witnessed when people begin to see themselves as the main character?
They start to really know their worth, know their value, and that goes beyond monetary. And yes, sometimes that leads to monetary successes, but I have one client who, she's like, you know what, if the algorithm is going to censor me, I'm going to be who I'm going to be. And she doesn't care. Like, you start to get into what I call the don't give a fuck energy. I know we talked about this, like, I don't know your crew, like the don't give a fuck energy, where you just are like, this is the vibe. And
We're
then
good for an F-bomb here, Victoria. It's okay.
Loud. Okay.
You're with some good people.
Some other pieces that I've seen from the, like, don't give a fuck is, like, I had a client who asked for her largest contract. She asked for a 10K speaking gig. I had a client who went mega viral because that was one of her goals. I have had clients land dream clients. Like, I think what really happens is you start to step into being more of who you are, and that attracts you with the people who want to work with you, who are excited to work with you, and the people who want to celebrate you. And I feel like that is what is so freeing. And that's when you get into the don't give a fuck era. It's not that you don't give a fuck, it's that you stop giving fucks about things that don't matter, like other people's opinions that are hurtful or that maybe don't align with the vibe that you are, or the trolls in the comments, or, you know, whatever. Usually it's trolls in the comments. It's, you know, you're just like, oh, hey, thanks for the Thanks for boosting me on the algorithm.
You know, I have a tea.
Okay.
I have the tea that's in my drawer.
Okay.
There's 0 fucks to give. So just in case you thought I had some, I have 0. Okay. I have 0. So yes, I understand, you know, but before I get to the comments, because I love how Letta said that she will bust out in song and dance anywhere. Ditto. I have found that when you are going through this transformation, your values, your real core values start to show up as well. Have you found that with your clients?
Yeah, their core values and who they are. And I think one of the biggest things that's so interesting is it's like it's who they always have been, but they've forgotten for whatever reason. And their values, and they stand on it, their boundaries, they have stronger boundaries. They start to ask for themselves. They pour so much more love and care into themselves. Some of them, like, they'll be feeling cute. Like, I'll get that. Like, my favorite is when they'll like post like the cute, like, and they're like, I'm feeling myself in this. And I just feel like it's so freeing and to be who you are. And I mean, it took me a long time to be able to feel like I could do that. And that's why I said I'm not going back. Like, I'm not going back.
Once you break free from the matrix, once you come out of that box and define who you are, what you stand for, and all the things, it is extremely hard to put that genie back into the bottle. I just don't see it happening. I know when I started my journey, I often will tell people, yes, I know I look cute. Go ahead, take a couple of pictures because you need reminders. So yes, and there is no shame here. Modesty, I can't spell the word.
Yeah. You know,
spell it.
I can't either. But like, one of the things that I compliment, or things that I hear from clients, is they're like, one of the reasons I want to work with you is because you're so good at celebrating yourself. And I didn't think like we work so hard, and why wouldn't you want to celebrate yourself? Like, I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's like youngest child like energy that I've got, that I'm like, hey, I got an award, y'all. But like, at the same time, we should be celebrating ourselves, big, small victories, like every day being in a system that says people that look like us shouldn't be successful. Every day that we're successful is defiant and is something to celebrate.
Okay, let me get these words together. I'm coming from a generation, so I'm an X, but I'm from the generation where you pick a path, you stay on that path, and then you retire and do whatever, right? You speak when spoken to, taught to be modest, don't brag, don't boast, don't like, so when you are taught that, when it's beaten into you, not physically, people, I should be careful out here. But when that message is just, it's really hard to turn around and say, yeah, I should celebrate that. Should I celebrate that? Because that's when I say unlearning what you have learned, that is a journey, people. It's a marathon. I've been doing it for a while, which is why when I show up in places, knowing I own the whole damn room, people are like, how did you, this was not yesterday. It wasn't yesterday, but I'd be damned if I go back. Like, that's a definite no. As Carol says, those folks that yuck our yum are missing out. But thank you for letting us know you're not our crew, haters. I'm right there with you, Carol. Ditto. Caslu says, let it out. No worries. They've heard worse from me. Victoria. I may not say my preference, no cussing, but do not impose on others, but my face usually says it. Cass does have some faces. She's gonna be like, yeah, but she's saying it. As I've gotten older, I'm better at not giving a fuck as well. I do believe there is a crossover when you're like, don't nobody care. Nah, look, I'm definitely in the don't nobody care. I don't. So I get that, Letta. Celebrate your wins daily. Yes. And I do like when others express themselves, how they choose to, cussing or not. Do you, boo? That's
Do
what I'm talking
you,
about.
boo. Yes, right. That's the piece. Do you.
That is the beast. Now, I have like all these questions written, but I don't want to take up all the time with the questions. I do want to talk about the story Saloon. I just captured a little bit. So I am going to let this video play. It has no words, but if you could just give us an idea when people go to the website, what they would be experiencing. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to let you talk about the story Saloon.
Okay, so we are the story Saloon. You'd be able to kind of go through and pick a couple paths. If you want to do story Saloon, that's narrative strategy. So that's whether you want to speak, whether you are doing social media, and so I have a couple courses up there, hook, line, and sinker, marketing funnels, things like that you could find, which are marketing done in a fun marketing bandita style. They are shot in the story Saloon, which is really great. Also, legendary on LinkedIn. So if you're looking to capture your audience's attention on LinkedIn and be memorable, that is one of the pieces of the Saloon. There also is main character energy, which is another part of the story Saloon. Marketing maverick was also a word because I feel like I'm a wild card. But that is the places where you can kind of go. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, slide into the DMs, and I'd love to have a conversation and hear a bit of your story. I am also giving away free 20-minute story sessions. So also sign up for the Story Saloon newsletter. That's where you'll hear more of the after party stories, like this current cross-country road trip that I'm on. So that's where the juicy tea is. That's where
all the juicy tea is. And Dr. Chachi says, I love this. I know, right? Here's the deal. And I believe it's right on time, right? Because not sometimes, a lot of times, people who are going to be the movers, and I like a good movie, The Disruptors, for those who have seen The Glass Onion. They get out there early. And people are like, no one's going to do that. No one's going to do that. But if you can see the future, you watch enough history with humans and behavior, you're going to pick up on this right here. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. There's no way that we can keep doing what we're doing and believing that that is going to be okay. This is not. Now, I'm a business person. Like I said, I love retail. I look at all businesses across the board. This fascination with the way that we work, staying the way it's been since like 1940. It is 2025, people. I get that you enjoyed the little power you have. And now that we understand what's really going down, you're like, I got to hold on to it. Let it go. Get ahead of it. Adopt change, right?
We have to adopt the change. We have to evolve and change in business. I mean, and the thing is we're ever evolving and changing. One of the most well-known, like, we forget sometimes that Netflix started out as a DVD service. You used to mail those in. Like, that's why I say I'm elder millennial. Like, I don't know if younger millennials caught that part, but like, you mailed those in. And then when they like switched over to streaming, and now it's a whole different space. I think that that's a big thing in businesses. We have to be adaptable, but that's where the stories come in, because our stories are ever evolving and changing. You are continually writing chapters, and that's the best part, right? And I also like to remind people that you are not just the main character of your story, you're the motherfucking author. So if there are parts of your story you want to rewrite them.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that little fancy sound button. That's it. There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. All of that. Yes. You know, I just really believe, it's not a feeling. I believe, and I'm seeing it. There is a shift on the move here. It's on the rise. Now you got two options. You can either get with it and ride the wave. Yep. Or you're going to get like ran over. That's how I see it. And then wonder why things are happening the way they're happening.
Yeah.
It's like status quo is not getting, because status quo was not good for everybody. Let's just go ahead and put that out there.
Yeah. Status quo is not good for everybody. And the thing is Blockbuster didn't want to change, by the way. Blockbuster was not necessarily interested in going a streaming model. They really, really believed in their model. They didn't want to adapt. They weren't listening to their customer. And we all kind of know where that landed them. So I'm just saying, like, I'm just business bites.
You know, we could literally go into a whole nother conversation about business looking in the future, making way for those who are looking at the future. But, you know, sometimes people want to hold up these barriers and they want to gatekeep and they feel like they know everything. So God forbid if I bring in someone who doesn't look like me and ask them, what do you believe we should be focusing on? Because what would I possibly know, right?
Yeah.
This is not that show, people. This is not that show. I do want to do this before we get to the comments and let you give us some parting words. This is the QR code for the story Saloon. So if you want to talk to Victoria, if you're needing a little bit of assistance getting your story together, just want to check her out because she's good people. She's good people. Just go into the Saloon. That's the QR code to scan. I also want to put up the web address, but the QR code is easier. You can scan it, take a picture and talk to it later. You can just tap on it and it'll take you to, as a tech person who knows, if you don't know how to use your phone, reach out. We'll help you get it together. But scan that QR code and make sure that you check that out. We got 2 more comments and I'm gonna let you give us some parting words. Letta says, it's so freeing to not care what people think about you because no matter what, there will always be someone who doesn't like you. So why not be you? As I say, get something to talk about. Since you watching, since you peeping, and check it. We know why they're watching. Hello.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a fan. Okay.
Give them something to talk about. That's what I do. I say it all the time, and I used to say it when I worked in corporate America. It's not 1985 anymore. Move forward. There are going to be some people who are going to get really left behind, and I mean that. And it's not a bad thing personally, but whatever. But there is a shift coming. I get it. You know, we gotta toys and what's that? Toys and Ya? Oh, Toys R Us. Okay, did the same thing, and we see what happened to them. Yes, Toys R Us had the same problem. Yes, I mean, just because you're on the top tier right now, like Research in Motion with BlackBerry, which BlackBerry's making a comeback. Do you have a BlackBerry? I'm not singling you out. I'm just asking.
I don't have a BlackBerry, but they are making a comeback.
People, I don't
attach my Apple, my iPhone, like a little too attached.
I'm just because you are one of the older, as you say, older millennials. So, but I wasn't sure if you were going to jump on that trend because there's a trend, people, where they are going to a place of getting dumb phones. But that's another chat for another time. I am going to let Victoria leave us with some wisdom, some parting words. Ma'am, what do you want to share with those who are watching now or those who will be watching in the replay?
Yeah, so I spent a week at Black Week, and one of the best statistics that I took away from Black Week, which is a cultural forum to talk about the creator economy or the culture economy, is that multiculturalism and multicultural people have $5 trillion worth of buying power annually. 5T. So a lot of times we are in a space of recognizing our own worth and our own power. We can't always see the bottle, the contents when we're on the outside. So that's why we need other people to remind us. So you have power, you are worth it, and go out there and make a difference with your community and the people who are your people.
That was top.
$5 trillion, by the way. We have
hey,
dollars of
like I said, some of us have been sold some lies for a very long time, and we have fed into that sucker like nothing else. And it takes a couple of punches in the throat to make you realize that, this math is not mathing. It's not adding up. And why are we still doing what we're doing when now I'm recognizing what the real deal is. Yes, 5 trillion. Yes. And yes, blackberries are a thing. I'm gonna have to do a whole show about that, like a separate something. It's a separate something. I mean, I get it. I get why they're doing it, but you know, I'm X. We had a VCR, and if we got a VCR later, but if you missed the show, you just missed the show. So I don't get fear of missing out. It's like we've been missing out for a long time, kid.
You were in or you were out. Like there wasn't, like I didn't, same. Like binge watching. I forgot about, like, I think, what was it? Bridgerton recently, like they'll only release certain like episodes and then they'll make you wait. And people were so upset. And I was like, oh, this feels like how it used to be on TV. Like I gotta wait till next week to know what happens. Who shot JR? I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference. Carol says, freaking kill this show, Victoria. I want to be like you when I grow up. Oh, that's so sweet. Letta also says, a great show. There was a lot of fantastic show from Dr. Tachi. Great show from my mother as well. Victoria, this has been amazing. But like, were we surprised? I wasn't surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Peep it. This is just like a smidge of Victoria. We didn't even get into some real things. Can you believe it?
Yeah, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Yes, so come on to the Story Saloon, chat with me.
Tip of the iceberg. Ugh. All right, Victoria, stay where you are. Everybody else, thank you for rolling through. Really appreciate you guys coming out, chatting with myself and Victoria. Again, please, we're going to put it in the description where you can go to the Story Saloon and also watch Victoria's TED Talk. It is amazing. That's not just saying some stuff. That is real talk. Thank you all for giving us your hour. We will see you next time. Lord willing, enjoy the day. Thank you for watching another episode of Small Biz Bites with Gwendolyn R. Houston Jack, where we chat with other creatives and small business owners about their journey. And we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the GR Houston Jack YouTube channel, where you can get the latest and greatest.